Hello everyone and welcome back. In this lecture, we'll be coding through the solutions for the Django Templates challenge. Let's quickly review what we had to do. We wanted to create a templates directory and connect it to the settings.py file, so we'll tackle that first. Then we wanted to create a new view called help and use URL mapping to render it for any page with the extension /help. And then we wanted to add template tags to return something like help page. Okay, let's jump to the Atom text editor and accomplish all these tasks. Okay, here I am at the Atom text editor. To start off, let's create that templates directory. So I can just right click on Pro2, add a new folder, call it templates, and then hit enter. And then inside of this, I'm going to do a subdirectory for my application. In this case, we'll just use app2. You could have also created a new application for this, whatever made more sense to you. And let's call this app2. Again, I wouldn't have been surprised if you did something like help and created a new directory, an application called help. But for right now, we have templates and app2 created. Now let's go to our Pro2 or Project 2 settings file and sync up this templates directory to our actual settings. And remember, we use the convenient import os command to actually do this. So I will create something that looks like this. We'll say template directory, and I will say os.path.join, and I will join my base directory with templates. Great. And then I have to scroll down to my actual list, past installed apps, past middleware, and then here in templates, this list has a dictionary inside of it, and under dirs for directories, I want to just say template _dir, and then save this. All right, great. Now let's continue on. The next thing we want to do is sync up and map the URLs. And in order to do this, we have to do a couple things. First off, I want to do what we've done in the previous mappings URLs lecture, where we actually have each application have its own urls.py file. So I will right click on app2, create a new file, and I will call it urls.py. And that goes inside app2, which is inside project 2. And then here what I will do is the following. I'll say from Django-conf-urls import URL, and then I will also say from app2 import views. And we haven't actually created the help view yet, but we will in just a second. And then finally, we'll have our own URL patterns list here. And inside of this list, I'm going to call the URL function that we just imported, and then pass in something that looks like this. We'll put some regular expression here. And then I will say views dot, and in this case, we've previously done index, but I wanted to create a new view called help. Haven't done it yet, but I will. So we'll call views.help there, and we'll give it the name help. And then let's save that. And now let's go to our actual urls.py file of project 2 and connect this URLs to this URLs. So we'll scroll down, and here we have the URL patterns for the entire project. So let's connect this to our actual urls.py that's inside of our application. And in order to do this, remember we need to import the include function. So I will say from, again, django.conf.urls. And I could have actually put this up here, so there's no need to really write this twice, but I just want to make it really clear what we're doing. I'll put in include. And again, I could have just done something like comma include here. That would have been the same thing. But just to make it clear, I'm going to put it in as a new line. Save that, and then we have our index page. We have admin, but let's add in something else here. We'll say URL, and using regular expressions, I'm going to say chevron or caret, and I will say help. And then I will say include, and I will call app2.urls, comma, to finish that list and save that. And then a couple things we have to still do is actually create that view and then create the HTML that we call for that view. So coming back to views in app2, right now I have this index view, but let's create a new one called help, and it will take in a request. And then there's something we still need to add to this, which is actual use of that render. So I'm going to make a dictionary. We'll call this help dictionary, or really whatever you want to call it. And then I create a dictionary, and we'll call this help insert. And as the value for that key, we'll just say help page, just to make it really clear. And then I'm going to return the render function, taking in that request, realizing that it goes with app2, and we'll say help.html. So what that's actually calling is over here this template that we're about to create. And then the context of this that we actually inject using the template tagging is going to be this help dictionary. Okay, save that, and then finally, last step is to actually create that HTML file. So we'll say new file, and this will be help.html. Hit enter. I'll say HTML here. Title, we'll say something like help page. And then finally, let's actually insert using template tags. So hopefully right now you realize the most basic template tags is just the double brackets, those double curly brackets on each side. And then we want to actually insert the dictionary that we created, that context. And something to keep in mind that we're not actually inserting the dictionary, but the key of that dictionary. So if we go back to our page here, under views, we want to import this help insert. So sometimes a common mistake is to accidentally put in helped dictionary, but you should really be putting in this variable right here, help insert. So I will copy that and come back to help here and paste that in. All right. So that was a lot of steps. Let's hopefully make sure it all worked out. I'm going to say here under project 2, Python, manage.py, run server, hit enter. And if we did everything right, we should be able to copy this URL and paste it into our browser. Let me bring that browser over. And here we have our browser. It says my second project. That makes sense. That's the index page that we set up previously. But now let's test this out and write help, and you'll notice we get the help page. So it takes in the template tag that we inserted and it looks it up. And we can see also help page here. That's the title that we inserted here. So just to clarify, this help page up here on the top, that's from the title. This help page as HTML text is coming in from that template tagging of help_insert. All right, if you were having trouble with this, then I really suggest that you take the time to review the previous lectures on template tagging and setting that up, and trying another shot at this exercise. This is definitely a big leap forward, and it's really important that you have this foundation of connecting the templates and the views together. Because coming up next, we're going to learn how to connect this to models to your actual database. All right, hope you enjoyed that little challenge, and I will see you at the next lecture. Thanks, everyone.